What do you do when God makes you a promise, but it takes years, maybe up to 45 years for it to come to pass? Do you keep believing, serving, trusting? Or do you just eventually think, well, He's forgot about me? Well, there's a story in the Bible about a man named Caleb who can help us answer that question. You see, Caleb was one of the original 12 spies sent by Moses into the land of Canaan, the land that God had promised Israel. And when they got in there, they saw this beautiful land and incredible fruit. But then they saw the giants. And 10 of those spies said, there is no way we can take that land. But Caleb, who saw the very same giants, declared, let us go up at once and possess it, because we will be able to overcome it. Caleb didn't deny that the giants weren't there. He just chose to believe that his God was bigger than them. But Israel, they chose fear instead of faith, and a generation of people had to wander in the wilderness for 40 years. And all that time, Caleb, he had to wait too. And he waited and waited and waited for 45 years. And at the age of 85 years old, Caleb approached Joshua as they were about to enter into the land, and he asked for something. He didn't ask, though, for a little retirement home, and he didn't ask for land that had no problems. Nope, that's not what he asked for. Caleb basically says in Joshua 14:12, remember that mountain God promised me? I'd like that one. Well, there's something incredible about that mountain. That mountain Caleb asked for was still occupied by the descendants of the giants, the same kind of people who had terrified the other spies 45 years earlier. But Caleb, he wasn't looking at his age. He wasn't looking at his limitations. He was looking at God's promise. Caleb's story should remind us that God's calling doesn't expire with age. The world may tell you, well, that your best days are behind you, or you're too old, or you've waited too long, or the opportunity has passed. But Caleb reminds us, if God isn't finished you, you're not finished. Maybe you've been waiting for something for quite some time, a prayer to be answered, a door to open, a calling to be made clear. Don't let the length of the wait weaken your faith, because sometimes the waiting isn't wasted. God may be preparing you for the promise. And so here's your challenge today. What promise or calling have you allowed time to weaken? Remember Caleb? At 85, he wasn't asking for an easier assignment. He was asking for his mountain. Faith isn't about starting strong. It's about staying faithful through the waiting and finishing strong. So when everyone else is looking at the giants, be the Caleb who says, give me my mountain. Have a great day.